Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. Wherever you're at in the world, welcome to Last Raps Baseball's live commentary of Major League Baseball. Tonight, we are going to be bringing you the Atlanta Braves and the Cincinnati Reds, as both of these clubs be facing off against each other. They are each a game below 500, so one of the teams tonight will be reaching the 500 plateau, and the other one will fall a couple of games behind. So we're going to first off give you the starting lineups for the visitors from Cincinnati. Leading off and in center field, wearing number 29, is TJ Friedl. Hitting second at second base is number 9, Matt McLean. Batting third at shortstop is number 44, Ellie De La Cruz. And the cleanup spot and playing in the designated hitter's role tonight is going to be Gavin Lux. Batting fifth at third base is number 4, Santiago Espinal. Hitting sixth at first base is number 7, Spencer Steer. Batting in the seventh spot doing the catching is Tyler Stevenson. Hitting eighth and in left field is number 26, Jacob Herchebes. And batting ninth in right field is number 57, Reese Hines. They're going to be facing Grant Holmes, who takes to the hill. He's making his 7th start of the year. He is 2-2. He's worked 34 innings, allowed 22 hits, 16 runs, all of which have been earned. He has walked 19 and struck out 35, and he's pitched to an earned run average of 4.24. Well, that's your starting lineup for the visitors from Cincinnati. Now your lineup for the hometown Atlanta Braves. Leading off and playing in left field tonight is number 8, Alex Verdugo. Batting second and playing third base is number 27, Austin Riley. Hitting third and doing the designated hitting is number 20, Marcell Ozuna. In the cleanup spot and wearing number 28 playing first base is Matt Olson. Batting in the 5 spot and playing second base is number 1, Ozzie Albies. Hitting sixth in center field is number 23, Michael Harris II. Hitting in the 7th spot and in right field is number 36, Eli White. Hitting eighth and doing the catching is number 30, Drake Baldwin. And batting ninth at shortstop, wearing number 2, is Nick Allen. And they're going to be facing Hunter Green, who takes to the hill here for the Reds tonight. He has 4-2 on the season. He's worked 42 2/3 innings. He's allowed 27 hits, 12 runs, all of which have been earned. He's walked 8 and struck out a whopping 55 in those 42 2/3 innings, while pitching to a 2.53 ERA. Well, those are your starting lineups. The first pitch is just around the corner. We appreciate you guys for jumping in here with us, whether you listen live or on delay. It is Reds and Braves when we come back in a moment. First pitch is just around the corner, as it is going to be Grant Holmes taking to the hill here. He's going to be facing TJ Friedl, Matt McLean, and Ellie De La Cruz, as Holmes is just completing his tune-up tosses and will be ready to get this one underway. The Reds are at 18-19. The Braves are at 17-18 entering tonight's ball game, as these two here will go head-to-head in the action here tonight. There were other games across the MLB earlier today, and we'll get you caught up on those throughout the game, as well as the other late starts that will be coming up as well. So what do we think the keys will be for this one here? Well, for Hunter Green, he's going to be doing what he continues to do, and that is to throw strikes and to be able to strike out a lot of the hitters of the Braves, keep the ball on the ground, and that's going to give them a chance to be able to win. On the Braves side of the coin, Grant Holmes has got to come out. He's got to establish a strike zone early. He's got to pound the zone. He's got to be able to throw strikes. The Cincinnati Reds are a little bit banged up, as they do have a few changes in their lineup tonight. The first pitch here ready to come from Holmes as he kicks and delivers as a first pitch center cut fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to TJ Friedl. Friedl batting .264 on the season. He's got a homer and 13 RBIs, batting from the left side here against the right-handed throwing Holmes, who kicks and fires. There is a fastball swung on, and it's lifted foul over on the third base side. The count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Holmes with the long curly hair. It falls on his front shoulders as he is ready to face Friedl here with an 0-2 count. As Friedl is standing right at the back of the batter's box, waiting on the offering here from the right-hander, who kicks and he fires. It's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-2. Cincinnati is in the road grays today with the red and white trim. The Braves are in their home whites with the red and blue trim. As the right-hander Holmes works himself to the set, here comes the pitch. Breaking ball misses, but away, and the count goes to 2-2. They are shading Friedl more toward the pole side as the third baseman, Austin Riley, is well off the bag at third. He's in the 6-hole. The shortstop, Nick Allen, is as far as you can go towards second base without crossing the other side of the line. There's a breaking ball that is delivered, and it is going to be a time count violation as the home plate umpire has jumped out and signaled for that. So Alan Porter is going to add a ball to the count. And while we're talking about the umpires, the home plate umpire tonight is Alan Porter. The first base, it's Brian Walsh. Chris Siegel is working the bag at second, and then rocking chair at third, it's Alex McKay. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is driven into deep right center field. This ball could be trouble, and this ball's gone. A home run for TJ Friedl, and just like that, the Reds have opened up the scoring. But the first batter of the ball game, Friedl drills his second home run of the year into right center field, and the Reds are up early 1-0. So 1-0 here for the Reds, as that is a way to jumpstart their offense. It was a hanging curveball right up in the zone, and Friedl made no mistake as he deposited it into the bullpen area of the Atlanta Braves in right field, and it is a 1-0 lead. That's going to bring Matt McLain to the plate. And for McLain, well, he's hitting a .165 on the year. He's got 4 homers and 12 RBIs. He takes a first pitch breaking ball down, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to McLain. Again, the right-hander ready to deliver again as Holmes kicks and fires. Fastball swung on and tap foul over on the first base side. Count goes even to 1-1. Yesterday, it took 10 innings, but the Braves were able to knock off the Reds 2-1 yesterday. That was in the game in the series here as the pitch is on the way. That was the second game of the series. Ground ball up the middle, and it is going to be a base hit here for Matt McLain. So back-to-back hits here for the Reds. And that is going to bring up the shortstop, Ellie De La Cruz. On Monday night, it was A.J. Smith-Shaver who was a major part of the one-hit shutout against the Reds as Atlanta beat the Reds 4-0. This is game 3 of the series. Tomorrow, the series wraps up when Nick Lodolo takes to the hill against Spencer Schwellenbach. As the pitch on the way is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0 to De La Cruz. De La Cruz hitting .266 in the early going, 5 homers and 25 runs driven in. As Holmes gets the sign from his catcher Baldwin, and he works himself set. And now he throws over to first, and diving back in time is McLain. For the Braves defensively tonight, it is Alex Verdugo in left. Michael Harris is in center. Eli White is in right. Around the horn from first to third. As the pitch is swung on and missed by De La Cruz, and the count is even at 1-1. At first base, it's Matt Olson. The second baseman tonight is Ozzie Albies. At short, it's Nick Allen. At third, it's Austin Riley with the battery of Grant Holmes and Drake Baldwin. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count goes to 1-2 on De La Cruz. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Top of the first inning, Reds have jumped out to an early 1-0 lead over the Braves here. As the right-hander Holmes holds himself to the set position. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball down. Good stop there by the catcher Baldwin. Count now runs to 2-2. We'll be back on the airwaves again tomorrow, as it will be Baltimore and the Minnesota Twins. So if you happen to be in the neighborhood, be sure to stop by. As the pitch is a fastball that swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 2-2 to De La Cruz. It's the second time this year that we've seen the Cincinnati ball club. We saw them play the Mariners a couple of weeks ago as we were tuning in. It is a little bit of a different look with the Reds here today. As we said, there's been some injuries. Noelvi Marte, first I heard it was an oblique injury, and I think that's exactly what it is. He's going to be dealing with that. So who knows how long he'll be out of action. That is always a problem to have to deal with. Obliques, you never know. Here's the pitch from Holmes. It's a fastball swung on. This is grounded past the second baseman into center field. McLean on the move. He's going to get all the way around to third. And that's going to put runners at the corners with nobody out. That's going to bring Gavin Lux to the plate. So the Reds have got an opportunity here to stick some more runs on the board, as they're in the process of jumping the Braves here in inning number 1. That's going to be certainly a tough test for the Braves tonight, as Hunter Green, who will be taking to the hill, is not going to be a pushover by any stretch. One run to work with. So we've got a visit to the mound here as the Braves pitching coach has come out to have a few words with his right-hander. Everything seems to have gone awry since the pitch count violation to the first batter. So that conference is over, and now Holmes is going to have to deal with Gavin Lux. And for Gavin Lux, he's hitting .295 on the season with a homer and 15 RBIs. He has been a nice addition for the Reds, giving them some flexibility, playing in the outfield and in the infield. There's a fastball swung on it. It's chopped over to third, fielded by Riley. His only play is going to be to first, and it looks like they're going to get Ellie De La Cruz at second base. So it's going to get a run in. So we have a ground out 5-3 to get Lux. It was a chopper. It's going to cash in Matt McLean. Ellie De La Cruz had rounded second base too far, and it looked like he was wanting to go to third. When by the time he threw on the brakes, he had slipped, and he is going to be put out. That is unfortunately a cheap out given away there by the Reds for the second out. That's going to go in the books as a 5-3-6 putout for the second out of the inning. It's going to leave it all up to Santiago Espinal. And the first pitch to Espinal is a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and one strike. Another breaking ball, this time swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2 on Espinal. The Reds have cashed in twice here. They had an opportunity for more, but unfortunately they couldn't put a few more on the board here as the right-hander delivers a breaking ball that is swung on and missed, and that is going to do it. Espinal is gone for the third out of the inning, but the Reds get 2 in the inning on 3 hits. There was no errors, and there was nobody left the board. Through a half inning, it is the Reds 2 and the Braves coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action. We appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel.
Well, you got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole. Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Alex Verdugo, Austin Riley, and Marcelo Zuna to come to bat here in the bottom half of inning number one. Braves find themselves looking up at a 2-0 deficit here early on, as it was 3 hits to begin the ball game. A home run by T.J. Friedl, and then singles by Matt McLain and Ellie De La Cruz, and an RBI groundout off the bat of Gavin Lux that have given the Reds a 2-0 lead. The tall, lanky right-hander Hunter Green is on the mound here for the Reds as he's ready to deliver. And the first pitch is a fastball at 98 that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. Verdugo batting .297 on the season, no homers and 7 runs batted in. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-1 to Verdugo. Verdugo in his first season with the Braves, as the right-hander Green delivers a breaking ball that is waved at and missed, and the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Green has been very good so far. He has been statistically one of the best in all of baseball. 58 strikeouts and only 8 walks for Green. That is by far the best in the game so far. Here's the pitch. Fastball at 100 miles an hour, swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 1-2 to Verdugo. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Cincinnati Reds, the highlight of their team is certainly their pitching staff, but there's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count goes to 2-2. Certainly the starting staff, but they have had some injuries, and they've had some people that they would have been counting on in this season that are not with them, but certainly Brady Singer and Lodolo and Green, as that breaking ball misses down. It's now 3-2. All pretty good pieces to the puzzle for Cincinnati to work around. So here comes the 3-2 offering, and there's a fastball swung on. It's grounded to the right side, fielded neatly by Matt McLain in the grass in shallow right field, and he throws to first. That's going to retire Verdugo, a ground out 4-3. So 1 in the books. That's going to bring up the third baseman in Austin Riley. Well, for Riley, he's hitting .290 on the season. He's got 8 homers and 25 runs batted in. Our friend Redbeard is in the house. You might find him in a tree. Not right now. There's a fastball that is swung on and missed. The count is quickly 0-1 to Austin Riley. I don't think that's going to happen here, especially with Hunter Green on the mound. There's a fastball that is taken up and in, and the count is 1-1 to Riley. He is working fairly quickly as the right-hander delivers a pitch that is missed for a ball, and the count is 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Green, working from the windup, gets his sign from the catcher Stevenson. There's a fastball at 100 that swung on and fouled away. It's going to reach the seats over on the first base side of home plate. Again, the right-hander kicks and delivers. There's a fastball, another one at 100 that swung on and fouled away, and the count is 2-2 to Austin Riley. It would have been an interesting meter tonight to see how many pitches were at 100 plus from the right-hander Hunter Green, as he has already touched the triple-digit mark on a number of occasions. There's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 2-2 to Austin Riley. It's pretty impressive to watch the right-hander work as he goes to the rosin bag and gets himself all lathered up. So again, here we go as he gets that sign from his catcher Stevenson. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on, chopped softly over to second. McLain has to hurry. Fields it. He throws on the run, and that's going to be a ground out 4-3. So Matt McLain putting on an early fielding clinic as he's been able to get both of the outs here, or at least assists on both of the outs, and that is going to bring up the designated hitter in Marcelo Zuna. Well, for Ozuna, he's hitting .275 in the early going. He's got 5 homers and 13 RBIs. when you think of the awful start that the Braves had in their first 11, 12 games, Braves have really turned it around. They are one game below the 500 mark. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball at 101 that catches the outside corner for called strike, and the count's 0-1 to Ozuna. They have started to play some pretty good ball in Atlanta, and one would expect that will continue when Ronald Acuna Jr. comes back. There's a fastball swung on and missed. The count now goes to 0-2 on Ozuna. The lineup is extremely deep in Atlanta. There's a fastball swung on and missed. And Ozuna's in the books. He's gone for the third out of the inning, and that's going to do it here for Atlanta in their half of the first. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board, and we are now through one complete. Your score is the Reds 2 and the Braves no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments. We appreciate you guys for listening in on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving ourselves to the top of the second inning. Your score, it is a 2-0 game for the Reds as they got both of their runs in the top of the first. And they're coming about after this musical timeout. We'll be back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 6, 7, and 8 hitters to come to bat here to face Grant Holmes, as he had worked 19 pitches or threw 19 pitches in inning number 1. The first pitch is a 94-mile-an-hour fastball taken for a called strike. Steer, Stevenson, and Herchebes to be the first 3 to face right-hander here in inning number 2, as the right-hander kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that swung through at 94, and the count goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Steer on the season batting $193. He's got 3 homers and 11 runs batted in. As the right-hander holds himself to the set and he kicks and delivers, there's a fastball that misses way outside. And the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jimmy Redbeard hanging in the house here. We're glad to have you with us as we are given the second call of the day. There was a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted down the right field line, but it's going to slice into the seats. It's going to keep the count at 1-2 to Spencer Steer. Atlanta Braves looking to add another win here as they've taken the first 2 in this series. There's a breaking ball swung on. It's grounded to short. Fielded by Nick Allen. He fires across the infield. And Steer is going to be retired on a ground out 6-3 for the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up the catcher in Tyler Stevenson. Well, for Stevenson, off to a bit of a slow start since returning from the injured list. He's hitting 176. He's got a homer and 3 runs driven in. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball waved out and missed. The count is 0-1. If they are going to make progress this year, the Reds are really going to need the bat of Stevenson. It'd be interesting to see if they could get a few clicking. Obviously, Noelvi Marte was really swinging the bat well, but looks like he is going to be out for a little bit. As the pitch is on the way, it's a breaking ball that misses down. The count now runs even at 1-1 to Stevenson. Right-hander ready to go again. As he kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on. It's going to be lifted foul into the seats down the first base line. The count is 1-2. Transactions today, they recalled Reese Hines, and he's obviously in the lineup tonight from the Louisville Bats. He'll be making his season debut. And as we mentioned, Noelvi Marte went on to the 10-day injured list, retroactive to May the 5th with that left oblique strain. There were some moves yesterday. As the pitch is on its way, it's a breaking ball swung on. It is grounded on one hop over to Allen. Fields it as he moves to his left. He throws to first, and Stevenson's in the books on a ground out 6-3 for out number 2. That's going to leave it all up to the left fielder in Jacob Herchebes. The other movements that went on yesterday, and there was a bunch of them. Reds had optioned Yosfer Zaletta back down to the Louisville Bats. They had recalled Herchebes, who is now coming to the plate. They also recalled right-handed pitcher Lyon Richardson. They had sent right-handed pitcher Rhett Lauder on a rehab assignment to the Arizona Cactus League Reds. There's a fastball that is swung on, and it is fouled off over, or the Complex League. Maybe it is Arizona Complex League. The ball is fouled away, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Herchebes. Herchebes batting 125 on the season, no homers and no RBIs. As the right-hander Holmes kicks and delivers a breaking ball that catches the outside corner, and the count goes now to 0-2. Reds also yesterday placed Tyler Callahan on the 10-day injured list with a forearm fracture, so he's going to be out for a little bit as the 0-2 is on the way. Breaking ball misses down. Good stop there by Baldwin. Defensively tonight for the Braves from left to right field, Verdugo is in left. The center fielder is Michael Harris the second, and Eli White is in right. As the right-hander Holmes ready to deliver. Breaking ball misses down. It runs even at 2-2. Around the horn from first to third, Olson's at first. Albies is at second. The shortstop is Allen at third base. Riley with the battery of Holmes and Baldwin. Again, the right-hander working himself to the set and now delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Our friend Jimmy Redbeard in here. Appreciate you again, Jimmy. As he hits us up with a super chat, there's a fastball that's grounded foul down the right field line. And the count remains at 3-2. As mentioned before, it's appreciated, not always necessary. As the right-hander Holmes ready to go again. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball swung on, grounded over to first. Olson fields it. He flips it over to the pitcher covering. And that is going to do it as the Reds go quietly in their half of the second inning. They go in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. And your score as we move to the bottom of the second inning, it is the Cincinnati Reds 2, the Atlanta Braves no score. Stick around, everybody. We appreciate you guys for listening on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back after this. Hang tight. Here's our friend Eric.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Matt Olson, Ozzie Albies, and Michael Harris to come to bat here in inning number 2. As Olson, Albies, and Harris to face the right-hander Hunter Green in his second inning of work. Hunter Green, he had thrown 17 pitches in his first inning, and 12 of which were strikes. He was pounding the zone. So Olson is going to have to face him here to begin inning number 2. For Olson, batting .226 on the season. He's got 6 homers and 18 RBIs. And the first pitch breaking ball catches the outside corner, and the count quickly goes to 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Matt Olson. Right-hander Green rocks into the delivery and fires. It's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed. And the count now goes to 0-2 on Olson. Again, right-hander against the left-hander. Olson's a big man. He really has his hands extended away from his body. He takes a 100-mile-an-hour heater up at the eyes for a ball, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Somebody in the stands sporting a Freddie Freeman jersey, and he's bringing about the biggest hot dog I've ever seen. Carrying it with 2 hands into his seat. There's a fastball that swung on and missed. Olson's in the books. He's gone for the first out of the inning. It's 4 in a row, retired now by the right-hander Green. Back-to-back strikeouts, and that'll bring up the second baseman in Ozzie Albies. So Albies coming to the dish. He's got a batting from the left side. He's got this really open stance, and he swings through a first pitch breaking ball. The count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Right-hander again delivers. There's a fastball that misses well inside. Count goes even at 1-1 to Albies. Green works into delivery. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. That was at 101. Just pounding the zone. 101. Again, as the right-hander rocks into delivery and fires, there's a breaking ball swung on, and that is missed, and Albies is in the books. So back-to-back strikeouts to begin the second inning. Hunter Green is in form here tonight. And that is going to leave it up to the center fielder and Michael Harris. And for Michael Harris, well, it's his first at bat here this evening. He's hitting .215 on the year. The first pitch is a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is quickly 0-1. Harris digs himself back, and he's got 3 homers and 20 runs driven in. Waiting here on the offering from the right-hander Green, who rocks and delivers. Fastball swung on and missed. Just overmatched right now are these Braves hitters, as Hunter Green is just having his way with them. So no balls and 2 strikes. Right-hander ready to go again as he gets the sign from his catcher Stevenson. Here comes the 0-2. Fastball swung on and missed. And Green strikes out the side. That's 4 in a row via the strikeout. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now moving to the top of the third inning. Your score is the Reds 2, the Braves no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with all the action. Appreciate you guys for jumping in with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the Cincinnati Reds to come to bat here in inning number 3. It'll be Reese Hines, the top of the order, TJ Friedl, and Matt McLean. So 9, 1, and 2 in the batting order, as they will be facing the right-hander Grant Holmes here in inning number 3. Has been some movement through the Atlanta Ball Club, as there has been some changes over the course of the last little bit. They had sent a couple of players packing. The first pitch is a breaking ball that is taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. Last time we saw them, Jared Kelnick was with the ball club, but he is no longer on the active roster. As Holmes ready to go again, and he delivers a pitch that is swung on and fouled away. Count is 0-2 to Reese Hines. Hines making his season debut here. They did have they had a couple of changes earlier in the series here, as Austin Cox was optioned to Gwinnett. That was on the 5th because the Braves had a doubleheader. There's a slider that is swung on and missed, and Hines is gone. He's out for the first out of the inning. I'll bring up the top of the order and TJ Friedl. They have made some other moves as well, as the right-hander kicks and fires. Fastball misses down, and the count is 1-0. They also claimed Brian De La Cruz off of waivers earlier this month from the Yankees claimed him off the roster from the Atlanta Braves. The Braves had sent Ian Anderson outright to the Gwinnett Stripers. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted into deep right field. This ball could be trouble, and this ball is going to be gone. The second home run of the night for TJ Friedl has given the Reds a 3-0 lead, and he hit it in almost the same spot. So Friedl seemingly owning Grant Holmes here with his second home run of the night, as he deposits that one again into the Atlanta Braves bullpen. And 3-0, the Reds have extended their lead. So high fives all the way around for him as he gets back into the dugout. That is going to bring up the second baseman in Matt McLean. And the first pitch delivered to McLean is a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. McLean, his first time up, he singled and scored a run. He came home on the ground out by Gavin Lux. As there is a fastball swung on and missed, and the count goes to 0-2 on McLean. So no balls and 2 strikes. Cincinnati Reds ahead 3-0 here against the Braves in the top of the 3rd inning. Pitch on the way, fastball swung on and lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats on the first base side of home plate, and the count remains at 0-2 to McLean. So no balls, 2 strikes to the right-handed hitting second baseman of the Reds. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball. Taken for a called third strike. McLean stood there like the house by the side of the road. He watched it go by for out number 2. And that is going to bring up the shortstop, Anelli De La Cruz. Well, for De La Cruz, he is 1 for 1 tonight. He singled, and he was erased when he overran the bag at second base. He had thoughts of going to third when that chopper was fielded by Austin Riley, as there's a fastball that is taken for a ball outside. The count is 1-0. I understand what he was trying to do, but the heads-up play of the shortstop, Nick Allen, and others to get there to cover the bag. There's a breaking ball swung on it. It is grounded over to first, fielded by Olsen. He's going to underhand flip to the pitcher covering, and that is going to do it. It's a ground out 3-1. That will retire the Reds here, but not until more damage has been done. Cincinnati on another home run by TJ Friedl. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're moving to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Your score is the Cincinnati Reds 3 and the Atlanta Braves no score. Stick around. We'll be back in just a few with all the action right after this. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We got a 3-0 ball game, Reds over the Braves. We'll be back in just a couple moments after this.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball.
That's right, everybody. We know baseball, and it is going to be the 7, 8, and 9 hitters to come to bat here for the Braves in the third inning. Eli White, Drake Baldwin, and Nick Allen coming to bat, as they are going to be facing the right-hander Hunter Green for the first time. Green has retired all 6 of the batters he has faced. As we are moving now here to the bottom half of inning number 3, he has fanned 4 in a row, has the right-hander. The first pitch on the way is a fastball swung on and tap foul over on the third base side. The count is 0-1 to Eli White. White enjoying himself a nice season. He's hitting .302, a couple of homers and 8 runs driven in as the right-hander rocks into the windup and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is popped up foul over on the first base side. Moving over and watching it sail into the seats is going to be the first baseman, Spencer Steer, and that's going to put the count at 0-2 to White. Steer had come over, and it had bounced into that camera area by the Braves dugout. So no balls and 2 strikes it is, as Green kicks and delivers. There's a fastball at 100 that just misses inside. Count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Green again delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on. It's grounded foul just past the bag at first base, and 1-2 it remains here on White, although he's going to have to get himself a new piece of lumber. As that one that he had just swung has been broken. And so that'll be a moment while we wait for him to get some more pine tar. So that brings White to the plate with a 1 ball and 2 strike count. As Hunter Green rocks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on. This is slicing down the right field line, giving chase, but it is going to slice into the seats. Reese Hines ran out of real estate as the wall came up in a big hurry there. That's going to keep the count at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, Green back into the windup. He delivers. There's a fastball swung on. It's hit over the head of the pitcher, and charging hard was Matt McLean. He had to field it, and they throw to first to get Eli White. We're going to take a look here to see if they want to look at it. It looks like they're going to go upstairs, so hold your horses here. We're going to get a look at it ourselves. And I think this call is going to get overturned. I think Eli White's going to get himself an infield single here, as he was able to leg it out down the line. But everybody else will have to come back here, and we'll have to see what the call has to say. So the call on the field is out, but we'll make the quick call here. It shouldn't take very long, one would think. It was a nice play by Matt McLean, but he had to come a long way to get it. That ball was chopped over the head of Green. Had to field it on the run and have to make the throw, but it was a good play by McLean, but excellent hustle down the line by Eli White. And if this one is upheld, then the New Yorkers have to get their eyeglasses fixed. But certainly it takes way too long for these here. It just breaks up the timing and the rhythm of the game. Here comes Alan Porter now, and he's going to tell everybody that he's safe, and that's what he does. But some of these calls, like the one we saw earlier today, just way too long to have to overturn it. You've got you play in real motion. You have to make a judgment on. If you can't make that decision in 60 seconds or less, then there's certainly other issues. Probably too close to call. There's a breaking ball that is waved out and missed. The count is 0-1 to Drake Baldwin. Baldwin hitting .250 on the year, a couple homers and 6 RBIs. Batting from the left side here against the right-hander Green. Mike gets his lead over at first base, and Here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses down and in, and the count goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Baldwin in his last 10 starts is hitting .353. There's a fastball that misses up. Count goes to 2-1. And for Baldwin, sharing the catching duties with Sean Murphy, who gets the night off tonight. As the pitch is on the way, fastball swung on. This is lined into center field, and it's going to get down for a base hit. As Baldwin is going to be aboard, that's going to put runners at first and second. Might have had a possibility of hanging up, but not so. As Baldwin has got himself a single, that puts runners at first and second with nobody out, and it's going to bring the shortstop, Nick Allen, to the plate. Curious here if they would consider bunting. As he does square to bunt, he takes a 100-mile-an-hour fastball up, but they say that he left it out or he attempted at it. Didn't pull back in time. So no balls and 1 strike to Allen. Allen, just a little guy. He's former property of the Oakland A's. And the pitch on the way is a breaking ball that misses down and away. Allen was involved in the U.S. Olympic team that went to Tokyo a couple of years ago. The 2020 games that were played in 2021. A chance to play for Team USA. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball waved out and missed. The count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Our friend Jimmy, who gave us the super chat earlier on, probably with this game here where we're flying solo, might have to buy having to buy a beer for ourselves out of that. As there's a breaking ball waved out and missed, and Nick Allen is gone on strikes. He's out for out number 1. That's the 5th strikeout recorded by Hunter Green tonight in this one. That is going to bring up the top of the order in Alex Verdugo. Well, for Verdugo, he is 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded to second his first time up. The first pitch on the way is a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. He has got an absolutely huge chain around his neck. I wonder if that would affect his 40 time from home to first. Pitch on the way, fastball swung on and missed, and the count goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from the right-hander. Fastball swung on and missed, and Verdugo's in the books. Strikeout number 6 recorded here by Green. He is on fire tonight through 2 2/3 innings, 6 of the 8 outs via the strikeout. It's going to leave it all up to the third baseman, Austin Riley. Well, for Riley, he's 0 for 1 tonight. He had grounded out to the second baseman his first time up. And the Green, they decide to go with a pickoff move as he does a spin move to second base. Matt McLean using a bit of a daylight type of play, but diving back safely is the runner Eli White. Bit of a timing play there. As the right-hander now kicks and fires, there's a fastball at 100 that's taken for a called strike. Count is 0-1 to Austin Riley. So no balls and 1 strike. Again, the right-hander kicks and delivers, and it's a breaking ball down. Good stop there by the catcher Stevenson. Runs the count even at 1-1 to Austin Riley. "47 pitches so far for the right-hander, or 48, I should say, and 35 have been for strikes. It's a pretty good percentage here for Green. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count at 1-2. Although the only complaint about that is he's going to probably ratchet himself up toward 100 pitches through 6 innings. That's the pace he's on. Throwing that hard, you got to be efficient. So 36 for 49 here for the right-hander. Here's the pitch. Fastball, another one swung on and another one lifted foul. You're living at the 70% plus rate of strikes. You are all around the zone, that's for sure. That is exactly where Hunter Green is tonight. So here comes the 1-2 pitch as the right-hander works himself to the belt, now delivers. Breaking ball misses down and away, and the count goes to 2-2 on Austin Riley. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, Green holding at the belt. Here comes the 2-2 offering. Fastball misses well off the outside corner. The count now is 3-2 to Austin Riley. Waggling the bat here and waiting on the offering from the right-hander who holds himself to the belt. Now the pitch. Fastball swung on, looped into center field, but room to make the catch is the center fielder Friedel, and that is going to do it here. A couple of singles to start the inning, and then the right-hander Green settles down, striking out 2 of the next 3 batters and inducing that fly out to center field to end the inning. And that is going to do it here for the Braves in their half of the third. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left aboard. Your score as we move to the top of the 4th inning, it is the Cincinnati Reds 3 and the Atlanta Braves no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a little bit with all the action. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Here's the man of the hour right now with 2 bombs, TJ Friedel. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Gavin Lux, Santiago Espinal, and Spencer Steer, the top 3 hitters in the order to come to bat here for the Cincinnati Reds in inning number 4. Grant Holmes has given up 3 runs, all earned so far, and 2 of those runs have been home runs off the bat of TJ Friedel. As he has given up the 2 solo shots, he also had an RBI groundout by Gavin Lux, brought home the other run as it cashed in Matt McLean. So here we go, back to the live action as the right-hander Holmes ready to deliver. He kicks and fires a breaking ball that catches the inside corner, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Lux. Lux grounded out his first time up, and he drove in his 16th run of the year. As the pitch is on the way, there's a breaking ball swung on and lifted foul down the right field line, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Gavin Lux digging himself in as the right-hander Holmes kicks and delivers. There's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. It is grounded up the middle. It's going to be a base hit here for Lux. So on the 0-2 pitch, he has singled that one up the middle into center field. That is going to bring up the third baseman in Santiago Espinal. Our friend Eric Fox had said earlier, before we were talking, and he was saying that more home runs are hit with 2 strikes on the hitter than with any other count. So if you get to 2 strikes, hitters have able to deposit balls into the seats. There's the first pitch fastball to Espinal, taken for a called strike. I think what I'd like to know about that is, does it matter if it's 0-2, 1-2, 2-2, or 3-2? If there's any differences there, there's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 1-1 on Espinal. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Espinal has asked for time as he steps out of the box. Espinal's enjoying himself a pretty good start to the season. He's now hitting .330 with no homers and 9 RBIs. He did strike out to end the first inning. But he has been on a pretty good pace here so far for the Reds. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and a strike. There's a fastball swung on. This is grounded over the right side. Olsen fields it. He bobbled it a little bit. He thought about going to second for the fielder's choice, but instead he's going to flip it over to the pitcher covering. It's going to go down as a ground out, 3-1. As Holmes had come over to the right side to field his position, he is going to retire Espinal for the first out of the inning. Advancing over to second is Lux. He's going to bring up the first baseman in Spencer Steer. Well, for Steer, he's 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded to short his first time up. And the first pitch is a breaking ball swung on, lifted into straightaway center field. Moving over underneath it and making the catch is Michael Harris, the second, and he's going to fire that one back in. Holding at second base is Lux. That's 2 out now in the inning, and it'll leave it up to the catcher, Tyler Stevenson. Well, for Stevenson, he's hitting a .176 entering tonight's ball game. 0 for 1 tonight. That average has slipped because he doesn't have a lot of at-bats. He's at 167 with a homer and 3 RBIs. Grounded out to the shortstop his first time up. Batting from the right side here against the right-handed throwing Holmes. This might be a tale of 2 games tonight. There's a fastball swung on and lifted foul. Certainly the Reds with a 3-0 lead with Hunter Green on the mound. You can feel pretty confident about that. But how big's the lead have to be before they turn it over to the bullpen? Because the bullpen this year for Cincinnati at times has been shaky. Here's the 0-1 pitch. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count goes to 0-2 on Stevenson. So you got to wonder where the confidence line will be, and if they can get 6 and maybe even squeeze a 7th inning out of Hunter Green, then it just shortens up the ball game for the Reds, but they got to keep putting some runs on the board. There's a breaking ball swung on it. It's lifted into left field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Rounding third and heading home, and he's going to beat the throw is Lux. And Tyler Stevenson's got himself an RBI single with 2 outs. That is going to bring up the left fielder in Jacob Herchebes. So just what the doctor ordered, a base hit and an RBI for Tyler Stevenson. That'll be a big boon and a big help for him. So that brings up Jacob Herchebes to the plate. He's 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded to first his first time up. As the first pitch on the way is a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Reds now in the lead 4-0 on that single by Stevenson. And the 0-1 on the way. It's a fastball that misses inside, and the count runs even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Full slate of games around Major League Baseball today. We'll get you caught up on that stuff a little bit later. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count's 1-2 now to Herchebes. There's still a couple of games yet to go. The Blue Jays and the Angels and the Tigers and the Rockies are a little later starts. Fastball swung on. This has popped up into left field. The Bermuda Triangle is taking place, and there was almost a collision, as it is going to be Austin Riley who makes the catch, and Nick Allen almost ran into him. That is going to retire Herchebes for the 3rd out of the inning. But they got a run in the inning on the benefit of 2 hits. There was no errors, and there was 1 runner left aboard. We're score now as we move to the last half of the 4th. It is the Cincinnati Reds 4 and the Atlanta Braves no score. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments. We appreciate you guys for hanging in here on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Marcell Ozuna, Matt Olson, and Ozzie Albies to come to bat here in the bottom half of the fourth inning. We're just going to take a little musical timeout and bounce back with you here in just a couple moments. So it is the Braves coming to bat, bottom of the fourth, 3, 4, and 5 to do it. We'll be back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 3, 4, and 5 hitters to come to bat here for the Braves in inning number 4. And we look like we have some bad news for for Reds fans. The trainer has come out, and Hunter Green is coming out of the ball game. We're going to take a look here. It looked like, not sure what it was. Looks like it might have been maybe a oblique muscle. We don't want to speculate here. It didn't look like it was his leg, but it looked like maybe it was somewhere in his side. So that is going to change the whole dynamic here in this one. Terry Francona is out to talk to the umpire, Alan Porter. And there is going to be a pitching change as they are going to be bringing a left-hander into the ball game. We're going to take a little time out here, but we do have a pitching change as the Braves are going to the bullpen and the Reds are going to the bullpen and the Braves are celebrating in the dugout for it. Not because of the injury, but certainly because it was a tough night there facing Hunter Green. But we'll be right back in just a couple moments. Green is out. A reliever is coming in, and we'll be right back after this from our friend Steve Rademacher.
Hey, where are you going? It's a pitching change. Come on, sit back down. You don't go out there. Don't go get no food or anything. You've got a big decision. Are you going to throw in there Rollie Fingers? Maybe Goose Gossage? How about maybe Mariano Rivera or Lee Smith, Dennis Eckersley? Who knows? It's a pitching change. Come on back. You know who I would pick for this? A nice, tall, cool one. There's my pitcher. That's my pitching change. That's a winning combination. Come see my channel. Every day is opening day. And according to Bob, I must be in the front row. Blah.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the left-hander Brent Suter coming into the ballgame to replace Hunter Green. That is bad news for Cincinnati fans. We're talking about the rotation at the beginning of the year, and certainly 3 pitchers who've been pitching pretty well. Green, Singer, and Lodolo. But now that could be a trip to the injured list for Green in the event, and we're hoping it's not, in the event that they've got some problems. Maybe a little bit of rest, maybe a little bit of rehab. But there is a problem with him for sure. We'll have to get a note on that at the end of the game. For Brent Suter, he's making his 11th appearance of the year. He has worked 15 2/3 innings. He has pitched very, very well for the Reds in relief. He has allowed 11 hits, 5 runs, 4 of which have been earned. He's walked 2 and struck out 7. He has a 1 allowed opponents only to bat 183 against him while posting a 2.30 ERA, arguably his best ERA at this point since the 2019 season in Milwaukee when he was in limited innings, very, very effective. Former Brewer and Colorado Rocky in his second season with the Reds. He'll get as long as he needs to be ready, as he is just completing his tune-up tosses. He's got a herky-jerky delivery, left-hander, a veteran one at that, at 35 years of age. When you look at players that are in the big leagues and you go through certain ones, there are not too many players that have played in the Ivy League. Well, Brent Suter is one of them. He went to Harvard, and so he has been a long-time veteran of Major League Baseball. Kind of curious. I don't know what his major would have been at Harvard. Certainly an Ivy League grad here, and you can think of some of them when you off the top of the head. The general manager of the Texas Rangers, Chris Young, longtime big leaguer, was a Princeton grad. Not to mention some of the other ones that are around. Brad Ausmus, he was a grad at, I forgot what school he had went to. As the first pitch is on the way, it's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Marcelo Zuna. Zuna 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out facing Green, as there's a fastball that just misses upstairs, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Lefty again, Suter delivers. There's a fastball swung on. It is lifted into right field. Drifting back at the edge of the warning track and making the catch is Rhys Hines. And Ozuna is going to be gone for the first out of the inning. That could change a lot of things. I think about people who do their gambling or their online gambling. Redbeard says Green injury. Yeah, that's why he's gone. It was probably, looks like, I don't want to speculate too much, but it looked like it probably could be like oblique. Breaking ball that, or maybe a lat. Breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Suter working quickly, delivers another breaking ball that misses, or that's swung on down and away, and the count is 0-2. Matt Olson here at the plate, batting with 1 gone. Suter certainly really works quickly. As the pitch is on the way, there's another breaking ball that is missing down and away, and the count goes to 1-2. So you think of people who would put money on the game before the game would start. The next thing you know is there's a breaking ball that is taken for a called third strike. Olson stood there like the house by the side of the road, and he watched that one go by. So he goes into the books. He's gone for the second out of the inning. That is going to leave it all up to the second baseman and Ozzie Albies. Well, for Albies, he is 0 for 1 tonight. The first pitch is a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. He struck out against Green. As we said, 3 innings for Hunter Green tonight. And he had struck out 6 of the 9 outs that he had recorded, as that pitch misses, or is taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. There's a breaking ball delivered. It's swung on and fouled away, and the count is 1-2. Albies turning around to bat right-handed here against the left-hander, as he was batting on the left side against Hunter Green. So here comes the 1-2 pitch on the way. It is a fastball swung on and missed. And Albies is in the books, and that's going to do it here for the Braves in their half of the 4th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board as they go in order. We're moving now to the top of the 5th inning. Your score is the Reds 4 and the Braves no score. We'll be back in just a few moments after this. We appreciate you guys for hanging in here. Our friend Redbeard said he's in and out, as he's out with the family for dinner. Well, I hope you enjoy the dinner there, Jimmy. We'll be back in just a few. We appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us. Be right back after this.
Hello? Oh, hey. Yep. I'm just sitting here listening to Freddie call another game here on YouTube. Oh, yeah, going really good. He's calling a great game, really exciting, lots of stuff going on. You're lucky it's commercial break right now. I got a second. Oh, yeah, of course I'm having a cold one. Oh, yeah, I got plenty of videos coming up this week. You should stop in, check them out, leave a like, tell other people. But Freddie's coming back. I gotta go catch the game. I will check in with you later. You have a good night, buddy. Bye.
Appreciate the share there, Steve, and thanks for supporting our channel. It is a 4-0 lead for the Reds here, and it is coming to bat here. It is going to be the 9, 1, and 2 hitters in the batting order. It's Reese Hines, TJ Friedl, and Matt McLean, and the first pitch is a breaking ball swung on and tap foul down the third base line. And the count is 0-1 to Hines. So no balls and 1 strike. Just checking out some of the information as the minor leagues are going on. We're always keeping our eye on the comings and the goings in minor league baseball. As the right-hander Holmes works himself into the delivery as he kicks and fires. There is a breaking ball that is swung on and missed. The count goes to 0-2. Doing a prospect watch. I think we'll have to check out some of the prospects. Maybe even do a little prospect video. We were doing some stuff earlier and talk about some of that stuff. As the right-hander ready to go, kicks and fires. There is a breaking ball that swung on and fouled away right behind at home plate. The count is 0-2 to Hines. Hines is 0 for 1 tonight. This is his season debut. He had struck out his first time against Holmes. He certainly found himself in the hole here at 0-2. 6 pitches, and all 6 have been for strikes. Here's the 0-2 pitch. There's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count goes to 1-2 on Hines. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Cincinnati leading 4-0 here, looking to snap or to take the third game of this 4-game set. There's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 2-2. We mentioned that they were losers of 2 straight over the last couple of days, including being 1 hit on Monday night. And here comes the 2-2. It's another breaking ball that misses down, and it's now 3-2. Have to kind of wonder about the pitch selection. They had him 0-2, and then he gave him basically 3 breaking balls down and away, and Hines was able to hold up on each and every one of them. I thought maybe he would have come inside to set up that pitch a little better, and there's a fastball that's taken on the inside corner for a called third strike. Hines is in the books for the first out of the inning. The second time tonight he's gone down on strikes. That's going to bring up TJ Friedl. Well, for Friedl, he has been a major power source here tonight for the Reds. He has 2 home runs, both solo shots, and both have been driven into the Atlanta bullpen in right center field. As the first pitch on the way is a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. The first one was a full count pitch, and then it was a 1-0 pitch that he drove the second time. So whatever he is doing to pick up the pitches from Grant Holmes, keep doing it if you're a Reds fan. Breaking ball misses down. It's now 2-0 to Friedl. So 2 balls and no strikes. Right-hander ready to go again as he works himself to the set position. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses up and away, and the count now goes to 3-0. So 3 balls and no strikes. Again, the right-hander working himself into the motion as he kicks and delivers to Friedl. There's a breaking ball that misses down and in, and that's going to be ball 4. So Friedl reaching base for the 3rd time tonight as he draws himself a 1-out walk, and that's going to bring up the second baseman in Matt McLean. And the pitching coach from the Braves looks like he's getting himself ready to make a move out to the mound. But no, he is right at the edge of the dugout. So that is going to be bringing McLean to the plate, who is 1 for 2 tonight. He takes a first pitch that misses down and in, and the count is 1-0. McLean has a single and scored a run, and he struck out looking his second time up. As the right-hander throws over to first, and diving back in time is the base runner Friedel. Cincinnati enjoying a 4-0 lead here in the top of the 5th inning, but if you just tuned in, bad news as the starter Hunter Green had left the game. There's a fastball that misses outside. Count is now 2-0 to McLean. We were speculating, figuring it was either lat or oblique. It was on one of the warm-up pitches that he was throwing as well. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball swung on and missed. The count goes to 2-1 on McLean. So 2 balls and 1 strike as the right-hander works himself into the set. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball taken for a called strike. Count goes to 2-2. Do have to keep your eye on Friedel. He can run a little bit. He's got 8 stolen bases. This might be an opportunity right here to put the runner in motion. As here comes the 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball waved at and missed, and McLean is in the books. He's gone for the second out of the inning. Second time tonight he's gone down on strikes, and if our count is right, that is the 5th strikeout recorded by Grant Holmes. And that is going to leave it all up to the shortstop in Ellie De La Cruz. Well, for De La Cruz, he's 1 for 2 tonight. He's got a single and 2 trips. He was erased in the first inning after he overran the bag at second base. First pitch, breaking ball misses down, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. De La Cruz batting from the left side here against the right-handed throwing Holmes, who throws over to first and diving back in time is the base runner. So De La Cruz waiting on the offering. Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes to the Cincinnati shortstop. He is an exciting player as De La Cruz. He's got some tremendous speed for his size. As the 2-0 is on the way, there's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count goes to 3-0. Waiting his turn on deck is the designated hitter, Gavin Lux, and the pitching coach for the Braves is reaching for the bullpen phone, so it may not be a lot left in the life here of Grant Holmes. There's a fastball that's taken for a called strike. Counts now 3-1. It is Rick Kranitz, who is the pitching coach for the Atlanta Ball Club. They're commenting on it before. There's just a ton of coaches on the big league staff these days. There's a fastball swung on and lifted foul down the left field line. The count now goes to 3-2. We were saying before, when you think about it 20 years ago, there would be maybe 5 coaches on the staff. Braves have 12 currently listed. There are some teams that are north of 15 coaches. It's like 1 for every other player. Breaking ball swung on, grounded over to first. Fielded by Olsen. He flips it to the pitcher covering, and that's going to do it. It's a ground out 3-1 for the 3rd out of the inning, and that is going to do it here for the Reds in their half of inning number 5. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 runner left aboard. Your score as we move to the bottom of the 5th. We are halfway through this one. It's the Reds 4, the Braves no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a little bit. We appreciate you guys for being here with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. 1-0 as we move to the bottom of the fifth inning. The Reds are in a 4-0 lead over the Braves. We'll be back after this.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball.
That's right, everybody. We know baseball, and it is going to be the bottom of the fifth inning here. And for the Braves, coming to bat will be the 6, 7, and 8 hitters. Michael Harris II, Eli White, and Drake Baldwin to come to bat here to face Brent Suter, who is on for a second inning of work. The lefty came on in relief in the last inning to retire the Braves 1-2-3 once the injury from Hunter Green and the warm-ups was recorded. First pitch breaking ball misses down and away, and the count's 1-0 to Harris Jr. Michael Harris tonight struck out his first time up. That was against the right-hander Green. As Suter delivers, there's a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 2-0. 2 balls and no strikes. Wonder how long that they would let Suter go for. There is a changeup swung on and missed. And the count now goes to 2-1 on Harris. Or if he would be an innings eater, they've had to use Nick Martinez in a starting role this year. And sometimes I'm not sure if he's better suited as a long swingman. As that breaking ball misses down, it's 3-1 to Harris. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is popped up over on the right side. Camping out underneath it is the first baseman, Steer, and he's there to make the catch in shallow right field. And that is going to retire Harris for the first out of the inning. So 1 gone. That's going to bring up the right fielder in Eli White. Well, for Eli White, he is 1 for 1 tonight. He beat out an infield single his first time up. Batting from the right side here against the left-handed throwing Suter, and he swings through a slow breaking ball, and the count is quickly 0-1. White and Drake Baldwin had back-to-back hits to begin the third inning, and they were left stranded as there's a breaking ball that is swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-2 to White. So no balls and 2 strikes. Pitch is a fastball that goes all the way to the backstop. Not sure what happened there. As it was, couldn't finish his pitch. We'll get a look at that one again. It wasn't even close. It's going to keep the fans in the front row attentive. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is to Eli White. As the lefty delivers, there's a breaking ball down. The appeal to the first base umpire, but they said that White went around, and he is going to go down on strikes for the second out of the inning. That is going to leave it all up to the catcher and Drake Baldwin. Well, for Baldwin, he's 1 for 1 tonight. Had a single in his only trip. So he's batting against the left-handed throwing Suter, and there's a first pitch breaking ball swung on. This is lifted into deep right field. This ball is going to be trouble, and this ball is going to be gone. A home run for the Braves as Drake Baldwin has deposited his 3rd homer of the year into the right field seats. And that is going to cut the lead to 4-1. So a 2-out homer here by Drake Baldwin has got the Braves on the board for their first run of the ball game. And that is going to bring up the shortstop in Nick Allen. So a 4-1 lead now for the Reds. As we mentioned and speculated, once that Hunter Green would go, how would this hold up? The first pitch is a fastball swung on and fouled away over on the first base side. The count is 0-1 to Allen. I'd like to tell you it was a big blast that went 30 or 40 rows into the seats, but it was a bit of a wall scraper. It was a front row home run as there's a ball hit on the ground over to third, fielded on the run by Santiago Espinal. He throws to first. It's going to retire Allen, a ground out 5-3, but there has been a run here in the inning. There was 1 run on the home run by Drake Baldwin, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left the board. Your scores, we're now through 5 complete innings. It is the Atlanta Braves trailing the Cincinnati Reds 4-1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a little bit with all the action. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Your score is 4-1 for the Reds over the Braves. We are moving ourselves to the top of the 6th inning, and we'll be right back after this musical timeout. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top of the 6th inning, and your score line here is the Cincinnati Reds 4 and the Atlanta Braves 1. 4-6-0 for the Reds, 1-3-0 for the Braves, as it is going to be Gavin Lux to lead it off here, as the first pitch breaking ball from Grant Holmes goes all the way to the backstop, and the count is 1-0. Lux, Espinal, and Steer here to bat in the 6th inning. A little bit surprised that Holmes is coming back out to work. 83 pitches through his first 5 innings. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on it, is lifted foul into the seats behind home plate. Count goes to 1-1. Wonder exactly how quickly manager Brian Snitker would go to the bullpen, depending on how Holmes would do here. Although he has had some success against the next few hitters in the batting order tonight. There was a fastball swung on. This ball is hammered down the right field line. It's going to be fair. Rounding first and heading to second is Lux, and the throw is going to be offline, and then he's going to slide in safely. He's got himself his second hit of the night. He's got a leadoff double here to start the 6th. That's going to bring up the third baseman in Santiago Espinal. So a little bit interesting that they decided to keep Holmes in the ball game. As Espinal will be standing in here ready to face the right-hander who kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses down. Count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Santiago Espinal. Espinal, the one-time Toronto Blue Jay, came over to Cincinnati. They kind of had to clear some space. I liked Espinal. He had an all-star season in Toronto one year. There's a fastball swung on it, is lifted into center field. It's going to hang up enough so that Michael Harris can get underneath it to haul that one in, and that's going to retire him for the first out of the inning. It was a bit of a looping a line drive, just got a little too much air underneath it. So gone for out number 1 is Espinal. That brings up Spencer Steer to the plate. As it brings up Spencer Steer, it also brings Brian Snitker out of the dugout, as that is going to be the end of the night for Grant Holmes. So we're going to have ourselves a pitching change. As Holmes' night is done, Braves are going to the bullpen. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. We appreciate you guys for being with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Here's our friend Steve.
Hey, where are you going? It's a pitching change. Come on, sit back down. You don't go out there. Don't go get no food or anything. You've got a big decision. Are you going to throw in there Raleigh Fingers? Maybe Goose Gossage? How about maybe Mariano Rivera or Lee Smith, Dennis Eckersley? Who knows? It's a pitching change. Come on back. You know who I would pick for this? A nice tall cool one. There's my pitcher. That's my pitching change. That's a winning combination. Come see my channel. Every day is opening day. And according to Bob, I must be in the front row. Blah.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the left-hander Aaron Bummer coming in, the 6'3", 215-pound, 31-year-old. Coming on in relief here, be the second pitcher used tonight by the Braves. He has worked in 11 ball games this year. He has an 0-1 record. He's worked 13 in the third innings, allowing 13 hits, 7 runs, 6 of which have been earned. He has walked 5 and struck out 16. So Bummer on in relief. He began his career with the Chicago White Sox back in 2017. And he had 7 years under his belt in Chicago, where he had some pretty good years at times. Certainly after the 2019 year was pretty decent. Used more as a setup man than he is actually as a closer, as he has had a number of holds during the course of his career. He was acquired by the Braves before the start of last season, and the first pitch is a breaking ball that misses outside to Spencer Steer for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Runner at second, Lux, 1 gone here in the 6th inning. As the lefty Bummer ready to deliver, and the pitch is a fastball that catches the upper outside corner, and the count runs even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. The lefty ready to go again as he works himself to the set position. Here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball that is waved at and missed. The count now goes to 1-2 on Steer. The left-hander Bummer ready to go again. He checks that runner at second base, and the 1-2 on the way. Breaking ball into the back foot, but just misses, and it's 2-2 here to Steer as he was moved off the plate. So 2 balls and 2 strikes it remains. The line on Holmes is not quite done yet, as he is responsible for Gavin Lux. There's a fastball swung through and missed. Steer's in the books. He's gone for the second out of the inning. That's going to leave it all up to the catcher and Tyler Stevenson. Well, for Stevenson tonight, he is 1 for 2. He's got a single and 2 trips. He's also driven in a run as he knocked in the 4th run of the game for the Reds. So it is going to be turning into a battle of the bullpens from here on out. As the left-hander kicks and delivers, it's a breaking ball that misses outside. The count is 1-0. 1 ball and no strikes to Tyler Stevenson. Batting from the right side here against the left-hander Bummer, who kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses down and in. Count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Stevenson asking for time, and now they're going to put him on here as the Braves are going to intentionally walk him to face Jacob Hurtubise. Probably not a bad decision, as that sets up the force at any base. So manager Snitker just holds up the 4 fingers. Let's get it over with. And now Hurtubise coming to the plate. He is 0 for 2 tonight. He is grounded out to first, and he is popped out to third. There was a breaking ball swung on it as tap foul over on the first base side. The count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Again, the left-hander works himself to the set position. Here comes the pitch. Squaring to bunt and fouling it off right at home plate is Hurtubise, and now the count goes to 0-2. Very interesting that he was thinking about bunting with 2 gone here and runners on the corners. Not sure the thought process behind that. But nevertheless, it is no balls and 2 strikes. Again, the left-hander Bummer ready to go as he works himself set. Now the pitch on the way. It's a slow breaking ball swung on, grounded over to first. Fielded by Olsen. He's going to win the race to the bag. It's going to be a ground out to 3 for the 3rd out of the inning. And that is going to do it here for the Reds in their half of the 6th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. And your score as we move to the top of the 6th inning, it is the Cincinnati Reds 4 and the Atlanta Braves 1. We'll be back in just a few as we are moving to the bottom half of inning number 6. Appreciate you guys for hanging with us. Braves coming to bat when we return after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the last half of the 6th inning, and coming to bat for the Atlanta Braves will be the top of the order in Alex Verdugo, Austin Riley, and Marcell Ozuna. As we have a pitching change, as it's going to be Scott Barlow coming on in relief to face the Braves here. He'll be the 3rd pitcher used tonight by the Cincinnati Ball Club. Of course, Hunter Green going down with an injury when he was about to start the 4th inning. So Barlow on in relief. He'll be facing the top of the order. A former Kansas City Royal. In his first season with Cincinnati, he is making it already his 18th appearance. He has worked in 15 innings, allowing 9 hits, 5 runs, all of which have been earned, walking 11 and striking out 12, and he's got himself a earned run average of 3, and the first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike. The count's 0-1 to Verdugo. Verdugo today 0 for 2. He has grounded to second, and he has struck out in his 2 trips to the plate. We were commenting about his gold chain in the last at bat. That thing is huge. There's a breaking ball that misses outside. The count is 1-1. Wonder if his time down the first baseline would be reduced by that weight around his neck. Lots of glitter and lots of gold there as the 1-1 pitch is on the way. There's a fastball swung on it, is popped up into shallow right field. Coming over underneath it is the right fielder Reese Hines, and he's there to make the catch, and Verdugo is going to be gone for the first out at the bottom of the 6th inning. So 1 in the books. That's going to bring up the 3rd baseman in Austin Riley. Well, for Riley, he's 0 for 2. He has grounded to second, and he has flown to center field. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Breaking ball misses outside, and the count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. As the right-hander holds himself to the set, pitch is on the way. There's a fastball swung on, its chop foul, and it's going to run the count to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Riley tonight has grounded to second and flown to center field in his 2 trips to the plate. As Barlow gets his sign from Stevenson, and he works himself into the set position. Here comes the pitch. Breaking ball swung on and hammered foul over on the 3rd base side. That was into the area where the grounds crew was standing and waiting, as they're going to be coming on to do their repairs. So 1-2 strikes. It remains here to Riley. Again, Barlow ready to go. He kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball swung on. This is lined into left field for a base hit. Riley reached out and got it. He hook pulled a pitch on the outside corner. And he is aboard with a single, and that is going to bring up the designated hitter in Marcell Ozuna. So for Ozuna, he's 0 for 2 tonight. He has struck out and flown to right. 4-1 scoreline here in the bottom of the 6th. Reds are enjoying a 3-run lead. We were speculating early on about them having to make sure that they can get a big enough lead with Hunter Green on the mound. And of course, Green leaves after the 3rd. There's a first pitch breaking ball missing down and away, and the count is 1-0. So 1 strikes. Right-hander works himself set. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed. The count goes to 1-1 on Ozuna. Right-handed hitting Ozuna, waggling the bat, waiting on the offering here from Barlow, who kicks and delivers. There goes the runner. Throw down to second, and it's going to be on the left field side of the bag. And Austin Riley's going to get himself a stolen base, his first of the year. So they must have picked something up there on the pitcher, Barlow. It's a really, really high leg kick. Austin Riley not known for his speed, as he goes in with a hip first slide into second, and certainly the catcher Stevenson with not the best of throws. Even if he did have a good throw, I don't think they would have got him. There's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count now 3-1 strike to Ozuna. Got to be delicate here with the big fella Ozuna. Waiting on deck is Matt Olson, as he represents the tying run. So here comes the 3-1 pitch as the right-hander kicks and fires. Fastball swung on. It's going to be lifted foul into the seats over on the first base side. And 3-2 it is to Ozuna. Reds lead at 4-1. Half of the runs have come off the bat of TJ Friedl with his 2 solo shots tonight. As the pitch is on the way, there's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and Ozuna is going to be aboard. So he's got himself a walk. That puts runners at first and second with 1 gone, and it's going to bring Matt Olson to the plate. And it's going to bring Terry Francona out of the dugout as he's going to go to the bullpen. He's calling for a left-hander already. So that's going to be the end of the night here for Barlow, as he is only able to retire one of the 3 men that he faces. Francona's going to take the ball. We're going to get ourselves a left-hander, and we're going to just take a little time out here. So we'll be back in just a few. Hang tight, everybody. Appreciate you for being with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Matt Olson coming up when we return.
Hello, everybody. Steve Rodmacher coming back at you again. And during this pitching change, for a change of pace, let's open some baseball cards. We'll get through these quickly. 2023 Topps Big League. We have rookie card of Tyler Freeman to go along with a Matt Chapman. And why not a Jake Cronenworth? Shoot 'em, Jake! We do have a rookie card of Brett Beatty. That's pretty cool to go along with the uncommon Carlos Correa. Pretty common to me, but what do I know? Trey Mancini to go along with a rookie of Kodai Senga. Freddie, tell them about Kodai. And one of my favorites, Devin Williams of my Milwaukee Brewers. All right, looks like the pitcher's coming in. Freddie, you can take over now.
Welcome back, everybody. We do have a pitching change as the Cincinnati Reds have gone to the bullpen. It is going to be Taylor Rogers who's coming on in relief. The 34-year-old left-hander is making his 15th appearance here for the Cincinnati Reds. He's got a 1-0 record. It's going to be the fourth pitcher used by the Reds. And this one here tonight, the first pitch is a breaking ball swung on by Matt Olson, fouled away, and the count is 0-1. 11 1/3 innings worked this year for the left-hander. And he has allowed 8 hits. He has given up 4 runs, 2 of which have been earned. He's walked 5 and struck out 8. So he is ahead in the count here to Olson at 0-1. Olson 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Takes a fastball under the hands for a called strike. The count is now 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Again, the lefty leaning in, ready to go as he works himself into the set position. He checks the runner. And now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, the lefty Rogers checking the runner. And he kicks and he fires. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted foul down the left field line, but it's going to slice its way into the seats. The count remains at 1-2 to Olson. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. So here comes the pitch from the lefty. It's a fastball swung on, grounded up the middle, past the diving glove of the shortstop. De La Cruz into center field, rounding third and in to score is going to be Austin Riley. Marcelo Zuna is going to go first to third on the base hit. And Matt Olson's got himself an RBI single, and that's going to cut the lead in half to 4-2. So we were speculating earlier if the Reds could have caught 6 or 7 out of Hunter Green, how many runs would they need? Well, if you have to pass it over to the bullpen earlier than that, that means you got 6 innings to have to shut down this offense of the Braves. Not a good sign here for the Cincinnati Ball Club to have to turn the reins over to the pen earlier than they have to, as there's the first pitch delivered to Ozzie Albies that swung on and fouled away, and the count's 0-1. Albies 0 for 2 tonight. He has struck out twice in his 2 plate appearances. The first time against the starter Green, the second time against the reliever Brent Suter. As the lefty Rogers ready to go again, here comes the pitch. Kicks and fires. Fastball swung on and fouled straight back. The count goes to 0-2 on Albies. So no balls and 2 strikes. I said after that pitching change that took out Hunter Green that I think if you were on the gambling circuit, you're probably looking at making a change, as the Braves would probably be the team to pick at that point. There's a fastball swung on, hit the deep center field. Moving back underneath it to make the catch is Friedel, tagging at third and heading home is Ozuna. And now we got ourselves a 1-run ball game. A sacrifice fly gets a run in, RBI for Albies. He's gone for the second out of the inning. That's going to leave it all up to Michael Harris II. So for Michael Harris, he is 0 for 2 tonight. He has struck out and popped to first in his 2 trips. So if you're in the Braves dugout, you got to start feeling pretty good about yourself. As there, Harris squares to bunt, but he bunts it foul down the third base line, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Left-handed hitting, Michael Harris stepping in. Shortstop is playing almost, Ellie De La Cruz almost right to the bag. Behind second base, the third baseman, Aspinall, is well off the line at third. He's kind of in that 6 hole, but up a little bit close. They're playing Harris to pull. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball swung on, grounded over to second. Fielded by McLean. He throws to first, and that is going to do it. A ground out 4-3 to end the inning. Harris is going to be gone for the third out, and that is going to do it here. 2 runs in the inning on the benefit of 2 hits. There was no errors, and there was 1 runner left aboard. Your scores were now through 6 complete. It is the Reds 4 and the Braves 3. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a little bit with all the action. Appreciate you guys for listening in on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Here is our friend Steve.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP Cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OP-Chi baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
That's right, everybody. Don't forget to check out our friend Steve Rademacher when you get a chance. He's got all kinds of crazy and wild things on his channel. That is Steve Rademacher. It is going to be the 9-1 and 2 hitters slated to come to bat here for the Reds. And their half of the seventh inning, the back third of the ball game, is ready to be upon us. As it is going to be Hines, Friedel, and McLean to come to bat here in the top of the seventh. Brand new ball game here as the Braves find themselves down by a run. As the right-handed hitting Reese Hines steps in. Aaron Bummer on for his second inning of work. So Hines, who has struck out his first 2 times to the plate, takes a breaking ball well outside for ball 1. Count is 1-0. Only 10 pitches for Bummer when he had come on in relief in the 6th inning. As he recorded 2 of the 3 outs in that inning. A breaking ball misses outside. The count now goes to 2-0 on Hines. So 2 balls and no strikes. Left-hander works himself into the set position. Here comes the 2-0 offering. Fastball swung on. Grounded over to second. Fielded neatly by Albies. He throws to first. And Hines is in the books on a ground out 4-3 for the first out of the inning. It's going to bring up the top of the order in TJ Friedel. Well, for Friedel, he is 2 for 2 today, and both of his hits have left the park as he has deposited 2 solo shots into the Braves bullpen. He's also drawn a walk. He's been on base all 3 times he's come to bat. As now time has been called. I'm not sure what the situation there was. I know that the left-handed hitter had got himself in. Alan Porter had jumped out to call time. But neither one had looked like that they were penalized for that. There's a first pitch fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Friedel. Friedel's pulled his average up to 275. With the 2 home runs tonight, he entered the game with 1, and now he's got 3. As that fastball misses down and away, and the count goes even at 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Lefty Bummer working fairly quickly as he gets ready to go back at it. And the pitch on the way here is Friedel squares to bunt, and he fouls that one break to the backstop. Count is 1-2 to TJ Friedel. Any way that you can get on, I guess, is the mantra of the batter Friedel. Haven't noticed any torpedo bats in this game. I did notice some when we were watching the Japanese game earlier in the week. Some of the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters have adopted that. There's a breaking ball that is waved at and missed. And Friedel's down on strikes for the second out of the inning. It's going to leave it all up to the second baseman and Matt McLean. I don't know if it's just the Yankees or if anybody else has adopted it. We'll keep our eyes. Sometimes we have been looking to see if it is more than one team or one player that have been using the torpedo bats. So here comes the first pitch. It's a fastball taken for a called strike to Matt McLean. McLean 1 for 3 tonight. Singled and scored a run his first time up, and then he's struck out his last 2 trips to the plate. Batting 170 on the season. As the lefty bummer works himself to the set. Here comes the pitch. Breaking ball swung on, grounded, foul, just past the bag at third base. No balls and 2 strikes it is here to McLean. The lefty kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted into straightaway center field. Moving over now to his left is Michael Harris, and he's going to make the catch. And McLean is going to be gone for the 3rd out of the inning. And that's going to do it here for the Reds in their half of inning number 7. They go quietly and in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. Moving to the last half of the 7th, your score is the Cincinnati Reds 4 and the Atlanta Braves 3. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call in just a few after this. Appreciate you guys for poking your head in here and listening with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 7, 8, and 9 hitters to come to bat, the bottom third of the batting order for the Braves. We'll be back in 30 seconds with all the action right after this musical timeout. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the right-hander Lewis May coming on in relief, the native of San Pedro de Macorís of the Dominican Republic, making his 4th appearance of the year. He has worked in 3 games. He's worked 3 innings, and he has 6 strikeouts to his name. And he is going to be taking over on in relief. He's also allowed 2 hits in a run, which was earned, and had walked 1 batter during that time frame. So that is going to be May on in relief, as he is going to be the 5th pitcher used today by the Reds. And the first pitch is a fastball that misses down and away, and the count's 1-0. That first pitch was at 98 miles an hour. He can really bring it up there. So 1 ball and no strikes as the right-hander delivers again. There's a fastball that swung on. It's grounded over to third, fielded neatly by Santiago Espinal, who throws to first, and that is going to retire Eli White on a ground out 5-3. He's in the books for the 1st out of the inning, and that'll bring up the catcher and Drake Baldwin. And our friend Gracie Lynn in the house tonight. We welcome you, Gracie. She says a donation for the tardy jar. It's all good. It's been a light night here this evening, as there's a fastball swung on, his grounded right to the glove of Espinal, who's in the 6 hole. He fires to first, and that is going to retire Baldwin on a ground out 5-3 for the 2nd out of the inning. It's the first time tonight they've been able to retire Baldwin, as he has a home run and a single, but he's in the books here for out number 2, and that'll bring up the shortstop in Nick Allen. Appreciate everybody who has come in. Tracy Lynn says she's also watching Palmeiras and some team I've never heard of in the Copa Libertadores. There's a fastball that misses upstairs. The count is 1-0. Funny, I did a survey today. I had to do these surveys from time to time. There's a company, I don't want to maybe get myself in trouble, not necessarily free advertising, fastball ticket for a called strike, called brandedsurveys.com. Every once in a while, I'll do a survey and different things. They'll pay you for your time to do it. As there's a fastball that is swung on and missed, the count goes to 1-2. And today happened to be on, of all things, about sports, but pertaining kind of with soccer. Just asking about people watching, if they pay attention to it. Fastball misses outside. The count goes to 2-2. And of course, a variety of different leagues around the world. Who you follow, who you pay attention to, if at all. As the 2-2 pitch is on the way, it is a fastball swung on and missed, and Nick Allen is in the books. And the Braves go quietly in their half of the 7th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. And nobody left the board. Your score, as we move to the top of the 8th inning, it is a 4-3 game for the Reds. I'll come back and let you know about all that other stuff in just a couple moments. We appreciate you guys for listening here on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. The Reds are coming to bat when we return. We are moving to the top of the 8th inning. Your scoreline is Reds 4, Braves 3. We'll be back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 3, 4, and 5 hitters to come to bat here for the Reds to begin inning number 8. That would be Ellie De La Cruz, Gavin Lux, and Santiago Espinal. We do have a pitching change as Dylan Lee has come in to replace Aaron Bummer. It'll be the 3rd pitcher used now by the Braves. So another left-hander in the game. As Lee ready to deliver to De La Cruz, there's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-1. Dylan Lee on the season, the 30-year-old, is making his 15th appearance. I find it staggering sometimes just how many appearances some of these guys already have, and it's so early in the year. Fastball misses down, and the count goes to 1-1 on De La Cruz. He's worked 13 2/3 innings. He's allowed 8 hits, 4 runs, all which have been earned. Walking 5 and striking out 12, pitching to a 2.63 ERA. As there's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 2-1. Friend Gracie Lynn says, name the competition and name the league, and she'll watch it. So 2 balls and 1 strike here to De La Cruz as the lefty kicks and fires. There's a fastball swung on and fouled up the 3rd baseline, and the count goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Get a good kick out of that. Sometimes I had a buddy of mine, his mom used to she was into football. She used to watch football every Sunday. She watched CFL, NFL, college football. Anything really but high school. She was into all that stuff. Here comes the pitch. There is a fastball swung on. It is popped up over into shallow right field. Moving over underneath it. And there to make the catch is Eli White. And that is going to retire De La Cruz for the first out of the inning. So 1 gone here. It's going to bring up the designated hitter in Gavin Lux. Started to say about the surveys. The place is called brandedsurveys.com. They don't tell you what the survey is. You get kind of points for doing it, and your points can be converted into money, whether it be cash cards or can actually be converted right into cash. As it brings Gavin Lux to the plate, he's 2 for 3 tonight. He's got a single, a double, and he's driven in a run. He swings at the first pitch, grounds it softly to second. Albies fields it on the run, and he's going to retire Lux on a ground out 4-3 for the second out of the inning. So 2 gone. Gracie Lynn said that Cerro Porteño has won the Paraguayan League 24 times. That's interesting. Not really sure what the caliber of that particular league would be like. There's a first pitch Breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the United States is holding the World Club Cup this year. I think it goes off sometime in the summer, as there is a fastball that just misses outside. In some ways, it is a preamble for the World Cup. I think what I should do is start a soccer channel and call the World Cup games when available. Probably get a big crowd for those. There's a fastball swung on and grounded foul down the third base line, and the count is 1-2. I can't do Ons Mondial because I think that was already taken. It's the French soccer magazine. Here comes the pitch. Breaking ball swung on and tap foul over on the third base side. The count remains at 1-2 strikes. I'm sure we'd probably get a huge following for that. Only problem is I have to go back and get the cable and everything else, but there's supposed to be 7 matches in Vancouver and I think another 6 or 7 in Seattle. There's a fastball that misses outside. Count goes to 2-2. Gracie Lynn says there's large crowds to get the soccer games, and not a lot of people call North American or South American soccer. As there's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes full to Espinal. That I can understand and appreciate. Probably, if they did, some of them would probably call it in Spanish, probably would be a larger audience than most. So here comes the 3-2 pitch as it is on its way. It's a fastball that bounces up to the plate. And Espinal is going to get himself a 2-out walk. It's going to bring up the first baseman in Spencer Steer. So Steer coming to the bat. He is 0 for 3 tonight. He is grounded to short, flown to center, and struck out in his 3 trips. This is the first time he's going to be facing a Dylan Lee. So batting from the right side here against the left-hander. Lee has given up some gopher balls here this season as there's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. When we were looking at Lee's numbers, he's allowed 3 home runs in his 13 2/3 innings. That's not something to write home about. And they throw over to first base, and they're going to get the runner, Espinal, napping. Oh, what a pick there by the first baseman. It was a bit of a timing play because the first baseman, Olsen, was off the bag. They got him leaning the wrong way, and they're going to pick him off. That's going to go 1-4. He's gone for the 3rd out of the inning, and that is going to do it here in the 8th for the Reds. Asleep at the switch, Santiago Espinal. No runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. Terry Francona probably chewing on his gum and probably spit it right out after seeing that. It's going to bring Verdugo, Riley, and Ozuna to the plate for the Braves. Braves have got 6 outs to play with to try to get themselves a run. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. We appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back after this little timeout. We got a score line of 4-3 for the Reds over the Braves. We'll be back in just a couple moments. We appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Welcome back, everybody. At the top of the order, it'll be Alex Verdugo, Austin Riley, and Marcell Ozuna to come to bat here as the Braves are ready to face Tony Santillan who is on to replace Lewis May. So another pitching change here. And the first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike. Yeah, the count is quickly 0-1 to Verdugo. So Santillan here going to be the sixth pitcher used by the Reds since Hunter Green went down with that injury. As the fastball misses up and away and the count goes even at 1-1. For Santillan, the right-hander, he is making his 18th appearance of the year as the right-hander kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count goes to 1-2. 18 innings pitched in those 17 games, and he has pitched very effectively out of the bullpen. Santillan, he has allowed 12 hits, 3 runs, all of which were earned. So fastball swung on and fouled away. The count remains at 1-2. He's also struck out 14 and walked 5, pitching to a 1.50 ERA. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is to Verdugo. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball a fastball that misses upstairs. Count goes to 2-2. Gracie Lynn says about what she has purchased for the Costa Rican League and everything like that. Yeah, unfortunately, the thing is that I actually, when I was out here, originally it was the Premier League that was broadcast and carried everywhere. There's a breaking ball that is lifted down the left field line. Giving chase is the third baseman Espinal, but it's going to drift into the seats. Count remains at 2-2. Here, they used to actually play the games on the radio. So you could be driving in the morning and you could be listening to a call of a game in England. You could be getting the call. They'd start at, I don't know, something like 6 a.m. on the West Coast time, and they'd be doing double headers. So you'd get all the British announcers. There's a breaking ball swung on. It has popped up into right center field. The Bermuda Triangle is taking place, but TJ Friedel is going to call it off and make the catch. And that is going to retire Verdugo for the first out of the inning. So 1 gone. It'll bring up the third baseman in Austin Riley. Well, for Riley tonight, he is 1 for 3. He's got a single. He scored a run and stolen a base, his first of the year. He has also grounded out and popped out. As the pitch on the way is a fastball that swung on and lifted foul down the right field line, and the count is 0-1. Gracie Lynn says the English Premier League is the only one she can't get into. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a fastball that misses upstairs. The count's 1-1. Well, once you've been to some matches in Europe or wherever you go, I think I've seen soccer matches or football matches in about 9 different countries live. As the pitch is ready to come, as the right-hander goes, and it's a fastball swung on and missed. Count goes to 1-2 on Austin Riley. And certainly the British, I say British because I've seen games in Scotland and in England. They really are into the match. Football is life in England. Here comes the pitch. Fastball misses upstairs. The count is 2-2. There's almost some innocence when you go and you see the games in Great Britain. And same thing like when you go see baseball in Japan or in Asia. It's like stepping back 40 or 50 years. Major League Baseball has lost some of its luster in those regards. There's a fastball that is swung on and fouled away, and the count's 2-2. And what I mean by that is you go to the games and you'd be there an hour and a half before the game starts in Japan, and they'll be doing their infield, outfield, and half the stadium will be filled with people, and they'll be cheering the infield, outfield. It's crazy. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 3-2. Gracie Lynn says the Central and South American crowds put England and Scotland to shame. Yeah, certainly when you get into Brazil, Argentina, they've got themselves quite the matches as well. There's a fastball that swung on and fouled away, and the count is 3-2 here to Riley. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. When I was in Costa Rica a number of years ago, it was Deportivo Saprissa was the big club. They used to get themselves A huge following. There's a fastball swung on and another one fouled away by Riley, and the count is 3-2 as it remains. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. The Braves are starting to run out of outs. They've only got 5 left to play with, trying to get this 1 run back. As the right-hander Santillan kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 3-2 to Riley. This is turning into quite the battle. It's a 9-pitch battle already. It's going to be pitch number 10 coming up here. Who's going to win it here on this payoff pitch? As the pitch is on the way, there's a fastball swung on and missed, and that is going to retire Riley. He's gone for the second out. And that is going to bring up the DH in Marcell Ozuna. I saw a match in Heredia where the Deportivo Saprissa supporters attacked the police, I don't know what you want to call it, turret that they had there with brooms and sticks. How the brooms and sticks got into the match, I have no idea. Here comes the pitch. Fastball that misses upstairs. The count is 1-0 to Ozuna. 2 gone here for the Braves in the 8th inning. They've got nobody on. They're looking to try to tie this one up here as the Reds are trying to finish them off here. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. It's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 2-0. Looking ahead to the Reds' 9th inning, it'll be Steer, Stevenson, and Herchebes to come to bat. As the right-hander kicks and fires, there is a breaking ball waved out and missed, and the count now is 2-1 to Ozuna. Gracie Lynn says she can handle sticks and brooms. It's when they start throwing the fireworks and flares. Yeah, there's a fastball swung on. It is lifted foul down the right field line, and the count is 2-2. Yeah, I don't understand sometimes just the crowd violence that takes place. People get fired up over some sort of game. I've seen some wild fights in football stadiums, but nothing that's gone too crazy, as there's a fastball that misses up. Probably the craziest I ever saw was at a game between the Jets and the Bills a number of years ago, and a big brawl broke out in the section after some guy punched a woman. In just a complete melee, they threw out like half the section. As the pitch is on the way, there's a fastball swung on. It is lifted into right field. Reese Hines is coming underneath it, and he's there to make the catch, and that is going to retire Ozuna for the 3rd out of the inning. And that will do it here for the Braves in their half of the 8th inning. They go in order. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left aboard. Your score, as we are now through 8 complete, it is the Reds 4 and the Braves 3. Stick around. The top of the 9th is just around the corner. Appreciate you guys for being with us.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be Anil De Los Santos that is coming in to replace Dylan Lee. And that is going to be Spencer Steer, Tyler Stevenson, and Jacob Herchebes, who he will face here in the top of the ninth inning as the right-hander De Los Santos kicks and delivers a fastball that swung on and fouled away. Count is quickly 0-1 for De Los Santos. He is in his first year with the Atlanta Braves as he is making his 15th appearance of the year. He's worked 15 2/3 innings. As there's a fastball that misses way outside. The count goes to 1-1. He's allowed 12 hits, 7 runs, all of which have been earned, walking 6 and striking out 17. As the right-hander works himself to the set position. And the pitch on the way is a fastball that misses inside. Count goes to 2-1. Friend Gracie Lynn says, you're not just a fan of the team when you're in those Latin American countries. You become your job sometimes could depend on it. As the 2-1 is on the way, it's a fastball that misses down. Count goes to 3-1. That could be the truth for sure when you think about it. As the 3-1 pitch is on its way here, there's a fastball that is swung through and missed. That was at 95 miles an hour. Count is 3-2 now to Steer. So economically, socially, culturally, if your team does well, you do well. If your team does poorly, everything around you suffers as well. So here comes the 3-2 pitch as the right-hander De Los Santos kicks and fires. There's a fastball swung on and lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats well behind the first base dugout. The count remains at 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Just a programming note, if you're around tomorrow, Baltimore and the Twins will go off in the morning. We'll be there for that one. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball swung on and lifted foul over on the first base side of home plate. And that'll be a couple of Japanese games, Friday and Saturday, which will be the Saturday and Sunday North American time games. And then we'll take a little break. And then we'll come back in the week next week and call some more. So we'll have to take a look at the schedule to see how that will play out. It's going to be a busy week next week, so we won't get as many games in as we would like, as there's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into left field. And moving over to his left to make the catch is Verdugo, and Steer is going to be gone for the first out of the inning. He hit that ball hard, right on a line and right to Verdugo. And so he is in the books for out number 1, and that's going to bring up the catcher in Tyler Stevenson. Well, for Stevenson, he has been aboard twice tonight. He has a single, he has an intentional walk, he's driven in a run, and he's grounded out. His 3 tips to the plate, so officially 1 for 2. He's raised his season average to 211 as the pitch on the way is a breaking ball that catches the outside corner for called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Friend Gracie Lynn says she'll be around for at least the middle innings. That'll be good. It's about 10 o'clock Pacific. It'll go off. There is a fastball taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 0-2. We'll keep a seat warm for you, and we'll put on a pot of coffee or maybe some tea, depending on is your preference. So no balls and 2 strikes to Tyler Stevenson. Hopefully you can make it in. As the right-hander works himself into the set position, and here comes the 0-2. Fastball that misses upstairs. They appeal down to the first base umpire. And they say that he didn't go, and that's going to run the count to 1-2. Our friend Gracie Lynn says, what scenario where you intentionally walk the catcher with the average near? Well, it's a small sample size on the average. There's a fastball taken for a called third strike. Oh, Steven stood there like the house by the side of the road, and he watched it go by for out number 2. Well, I think in Snitker's mind, I guess it depends on the pitcher that he was facing at that time. When I look back, I think they were facing, I think it was Aaron Bummer. Yeah, and Aaron Bummer was a left-hander, so they figured they'd take their chances with Jacob Herchebes. And the decision ended up paying off. Here comes the first pitch. It's a fastball that misses up to Herchebes, and that's 1 ball and no strikes. Herchebes 0 for 3 tonight. Seen his average dip to 0.91. So somebody at the Mendoza line is batting, and you take your chances with somebody hitting below the 100 mark because that fastball misses. The count goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Again, the right-hander kicks and fires. There's a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike. The count is 2-1 on Hershey's. The right-hander De Los Santos again leans in, gets the sign from his catcher. And the 2-1 pitch is on the way here as he kicks and fires. There's a fastball swung on, lifted into the seats, foul down the left field line. My guess is the Reds will probably give it to Emilio Pagan. I try to close it out. Pagan has pitched pretty well for the Reds this year, and even in the closer's role, although I have to say when we've seen him the last couple of years, it is white knuckle time when he comes out of the pen. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. And it is a fastball swung on and missed, and that is going to do it. 2 strikeouts here in the inning for De Los Santos as he gets Hershey's on strikes. They go in order to the Reds. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're moving to the bottom of the 9th inning. Your score is the Cincinnati Reds 4 and the Atlanta Braves 3. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. We appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Glad you guys are with us for this one here tonight. It is the Braves coming to bat when we return right after this. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving ourselves to the bottom of the 9th inning. We'll be back in 30 seconds with all the action. It is 4-3 for the Reds. Do the Braves have anything left in them? Well, we're going to find out in a moment. It'll be the heart of the order, Olsen, Albies, and Harris when we return. Welcome back, everybody. As we suspected, it is going to be Emilio Pagan who is coming on to try to close this one out. He has been very effective for the Reds this year out of their bullpen. He has a lot of stickers on his suitcase, as he has been with a number of teams since he broke in 2017. He's making his 18th appearance. He's worked 16 and a third innings, allowing 6 hits, 6 runs, and 5 that have been earned, walking 4 and striking out 18. And the first pitch is a 95-mile-an-hour fastball that misses up and into Matt Olson. He also has a record of 0-1, but he has 8 saves and a 2.76 earned run average. As the 1-0 is on the way, it is a changeup that is swung through and missed, and the count goes to 1-1 on Olson. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Olson batting from the left side here against the right-handed throwing Pagan. As he kicks and delivers, there's a fastball at 96, swung on and pop foul. It's going to reach the seats. Count goes to 1-2. For Olson today, he is 1 for 3. He's got a single and an RBI and 3 trips. He's also struck out twice. As the right-hander works himself into the set position, here comes the pitch. As he kicks and delivers, there's a fastball that goes all the way to the backstop. We've seen a few of those tonight. Not sure why that's the case. Pagan, I saw Grant Holmes deliver one to the backstop as well, I remember. And there was one other, might have been Hunter Green at the beginning of the game. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a fastball that misses outside, and the count goes to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Gracie Lynn calling for an Eli White walk-off. Well, that would be something. As the pitch on the way is a fastball that swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 3-2. As I said about Emilio Pagan, he had been with a number of teams. You check out the stickers on his suitcase. He's been with the big league level anyway, with Seattle, Oakland, Tampa, San Diego, Minnesota. He's in his second year with Cincinnati, team number 6. There's a fastball that swung on and missed, and Olsen is down on strikes. He goes out for the third time today on strikes as he picks himself up a sombrero. He's in the books for the first out of the inning. That's going to retire him. It'll bring up Ozzie Albies to the plate. Well, for Ozzie Albies, he's 0 for 2 tonight. He has struck out twice, and he has a sacrifice fly that brought home the third run of the game for the Braves, and there's a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Batting again from the left side here after the last couple of bats have come from the right side. As Pagan holds to the set and now delivers. Fastball misses up and away, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. As the right-hander holds to the set, now he kicks and fires. There's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. They appealed actually over to the third base umpire. They said that he didn't go. I don't know about that. There's a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike, and the count goes to 2-2. So the Braves need a base runner here, as the Reds are trying to close this one out. So here comes the 2-2 offering as the right-hander kicks and delivers. And it is a fastball that misses outside. Again, they appeal to the third base umpire. And again, it is a no-go. That's Alex McKay over there at third base. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. It is to Ozzie Albies. And again, the right-hander Pagan delivers. There's a fastball swung on and fouled right into the catcher, Stevenson, and it is going to remain at 3-2 to Albies. Looked like Albies may have swung at ball 4 there, but it was probably a little too close to take for his liking. So 3 balls and 2 strikes it is to the second baseman of the Braves. Crowd is on their feet, trying to urge the home side on to get themselves a run here. Here comes the 3-2. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on, belted foul down the right field line. Oh boy, as that hooks into the seats. So 3 balls and 2 strikes it is here to Albies. Ball was absolutely drilled. He got the barrel head right out on front of it. Hooked that one well foul. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. There's another fastball swung on. This is lifted down the left field line. Moving over with room to make the catch. That is going to be Blake Dunn as he has come on for Herchebes. So Dunn makes the catch for the second out of the inning, and now the Braves are down to their final out. And that'll be Michael Harris coming to bat here. For Harris, he is 0 for 3 tonight. He has struck out, he has popped out, and he is grounded to second. His average has slid down to 210 on the year as the first pitch coming here from the right-hander Pagan, and there's a fastball swung on and is lifted foul over on the third base side. The count is 0-1. Our good friend Jimmy Redbeard, who was in here earlier, probably pumping a fist because this is going to stop the little mini slide for the Reds. If they can win here, they'll go back to 500. There's a fastball swung on. It's going to be lined past the diving third baseman into left field, and Harris has got himself a single, and the Braves have life as the tying run is now aboard, and that is going to bring up Eli White to the plate. And if Gracie Lynn 6 minutes ago called the walk-off, then maybe we're dealing with a prophet here. So Eli White comes to the plate. He is 1 for 3. She said an Eli White walk-off would be amazing. Well, here you go. You've got the position for him to be in it right now. Do the Braves. So it does bring Eli White. No, actually, they're going to have a pinch hitter. So Eli White is not going to get a chance to hit. It is going to be Eddie Rosario coming in, as he is going to replace Eli White. So your wish is not going to take place, as the playoff hero from a few years ago, Eddie Rosario, coming in to pinch hit for Eli White. And in his career, he is 1 for 2 with a home run and 2 RBIs against Pagan. So Rosario stepping in here. He is 1 for 7 on the season. And the first pitch on the way is a breaking ball, waved at and missed. Count is 0-1. Trying to bring back the magic from the playoff run of the Braves from a few years ago. Eddie Rosario was a big part of that. So no balls and 1 strike as the right-hander works himself to the set position. And the pitch on the way is a breaking ball, swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Drake Baldwin waits his turn on deck, should he be able to come to bat. So now the Braves are down to their final strike, as the right-hander holds itself to the belt, and the pitch on the way. Fastball bounces up to the plate. Good stop there by Stevenson. 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Eddie Rosario. Runner at first, Harris. 2 gone here in the bottom of the 9th. Braves fans are half-heartedly doing a tomahawk chop, trying to urge their ball club on here. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. That's a fastball swung on. It is pop foul. That's going to reach the seats behind home plate. Count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, Pagan gets his signs from Stevenson, and he's ready to go. Here comes the pitch. There's a breaking ball, swung on and missed, and Eddie Rosario is down on strikes, and that is going to do it here for the Braves in the bottom half of the 9th inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and there was 1 runner left aboard. Your final score, the Cincinnati Reds 4 and the Atlanta Braves 3. Reds crawl back to 500. Braves fall to 2 games below 500. Stay with us, everybody. We're going to wrap this one up for you when we come back in just a moment. We appreciate you guys for being here with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Hang tight. We'll be right back after this.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city, San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. If we ever get a gig doing a game on TV, I want Gracie Lynn as my statistician. She says the Braves fall to 1-15 when scoring less than 4, and they are 16-4 when they score 4 or more. So unbelievable, 1-15 when they're under 4 runs. Thanks for that update as well. Well, we'll give you the rundown here as the Cincinnati Reds got the scoring going with the first batter of the game. TJ Friedl deposited his second home run of this season into the stands, a leadoff shot to begin the ball game. Matt McLean then singled, and then Elliot De La Cruz singled, and Gavin Lux drove home Matt McLean with the second run of the game with a RBI ground out. And that made the score 2-0 for the Reds. Reds added to their lead in the 3rd inning. And again, it was TJ Friedl who hit a solo shot into the Braves bullpen. His second of the game, his 3rd of the season. That increased the scoreline to 3-0. Well, that is where things started to get interesting as Hunter Green had left the ballgame warming up in the 4th inning. We were speculating could be lat, could be oblique. I guess we're going to have to wait for the report tomorrow. And the Reds, though, added to their lead in the top of the fourth. Gavin Lux had a single to lead off the inning, and after a ground out and a flyout, Tyler Stevenson drove home Lux with the fourth run of the ballgame for the Reds. Well, that is it. That's where it became all Braves after that. With 2 out, Drake Baldwin in the 5th inning hit a solo shot to cut the lead to 4-1. And the bottom of the 6th inning with 1 out, a single by Austin Riley, a walk to Marcelo Zuna, and then a RBI single off the bat of Matt Olson, and a sacrifice fly driving in the 3rd run off the bat of Ozzie Albies cut the score to 4-3. But that is how this one has ended. So your final score, once again, it is the Braves falling to the Reds 4-3. We're going to give you the out-of-town scoreboard. We'll give you all the scores from around Major League Baseball. There are still 4 games going underway. We're going to take a look in game between the Guardians and the Nationals. 8-6 your final in Washington. Guardians win. Cantillo gets the win. He goes to 1-0. Soroka, the loss, is 0-2. Clase gets his 8th save of the year. In Milwaukee, one we called earlier today, the Brewers lost to the Astros 9-1. 9-8-0 for the Stros, 1-4-2 for the Brew Crew. Win goes to Valdez. He is 2-4. Quinn Priester takes the loss. He goes to 1-1. Cardinals behind Sonny Gray shut out the Pirates 5-0. 5-11-1 for the Cards. 0-4-0 for the Pirates. Gray gets the win. He goes to 4-1. Mitch Keller takes the loss, and he goes to 1-4. In Chicago, the Giants knocked off the Cubs today behind Robbie Ray, who gets his 5th win of the year. 3-9-0 for the Giants, 1-4-1 for the Cubs. Ray goes to 5-0. Ben Brown takes the loss. He's 3-3, and Walker gets the save. That would be his 7th. The Mariners continue their hot play as they are in Sacramento to play the Athletics. Mariners win 6-5, 6-11-0 for Seattle, 5-10-0 for the Athletics. Bizzardo, the win in relief. Murdoch takes the loss, and Munoz gets his 13th save of the year. Mets knock off the Diamondbacks 7-1 behind Kodai Senga. Senga has been pitching very well for the Mets. He is 7-8-0 for the Mets, 1-6-1 for the D-backs. Senga goes to 4-2 on the year. Merrill Kelly takes the loss. He drops to 3-2. Dodgers knock off the Marlins in Florida. Nat gets the win. He's 2-0. Gibson the loss for the Fish. He's 0-1. Sauer gets the save for the Dodgers, his first of the year. In Boston, they knock off the Rangers 6-4. Bernardino gets the win. He goes to 2-1. Webb takes the loss. 2-2. Aroldis Chapman gets his 5th save. Red Sox 6-11-1. Rangers 4-8-1. Again, your final 6-4 there. The Philadelphia Phillies shut out the Tampa Bay Rays today as Sanchez gets his 4th win of the year against 1 loss. 7-11-0 for the Phillies, 0-2-1 for the Rays. Shane Baz takes the loss. Taijuan Walker, interestingly enough, picks up a save. And in Kansas City, the Royals knocked off the White Sox today 2-1, 2-10-0 for the Royals, 1-6-0 for the White Sox. Michael Wacha gets his 2nd win against 4 losses. Cannon takes the loss. He drops to 2-4. Estevez gets his 11th save for the Royals. Games that are in progress, Yankees and Padres are in the 10th inning tied at 3. Orioles are trailing the Twins 5-2. That's in the bottom of the 8th. Blue Jays and Angels are locked at 0s. That's after 1. And the Tigers have taken a 6-5 lead over the Rockies. That game is in the top of the 4th in Colorado. Once again, everybody, appreciate you guys for listening in. Gracie Lynn and everybody else that was here. Thanks for listening in with us tonight. Your final score, once again, Braves knock off lose to the Reds 4-3. We'll be back on again tomorrow. Hopefully we'll see you again soon. Have a great night, everybody.